Our early evening view of SA 31, 32, and before launching into the NGC series for tonight, I thought I'd show you this before I proceed to expose NGC 247, which hopefully will not be behind the power lines this evening. It's a magnificent galaxy to view, perhaps not Messier 31, but still quite magnificent. Well, actually, it turns out 247 is barely visible. Here's the power line. We'll come back to it later on, perhaps for the Carpe Noctem view of the evening. So as it turns out, we are now about to observe NGC 250 Galaxy in Pisces, magnitude 13.6, 1.1 by 0.6 arc minutes in size. You can see the galaxy well placed right there. Spiral with a lowercase a. 236 million light years distant, puts it about 70,000 light years in diameter. Here is our 150x view. It does seem to have some compatriots. Stars are looking pretty good. We've had 8 stacks, 9 stacks now, none ignored, so we've got pretty good focus on the evening. Let's move on to our next study, which will be NGC 251. Our next study for the evening, the stars are looking pretty sharp. We've got nice cross-hatching on the diffraction of the secondary. Is this very horizontal near edge on NGC 251? It's not edge on though. Interesting. It's a galaxy in Pisces, magnitude 13.2, 2.4 by 1.9 arc minutes, spiral with a lowercase c. 206 million light years distant. RA is 47 minutes 54 seconds with a positive declination of 1935.47. Here is our 150x view, gathering all the light feasible through the current sky, which is now entered well into sky dark at 5:43 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Here we have the field of view of NGC 252, which was visible at 30x. The galaxy in Andromeda, well placed in sky position. Magnitude 12.4, 1.4 by 1 arc minute, kind of small for a 12.4 apparent size. Spiral with a lowercase a, but the key thing here is it has a ring to it. And it has neighbors as well. So check out that ring. As I tell you, it's at right ascension 48 minutes 1 second and a declination of 27 degrees positive, 37 minutes 24 seconds. That annularity hints at the fact that its spiral arms are completely circumscribed its nucleus. Unfortunately, our next study is hidden behind the branches of the apple tree. NGC 253 is a galaxy in Sculptor, magnitude 7.2, 26.4 by 6 arc minutes. Whoa, what a beauty this must be. I will try to capture it, put it on a list to capture later on. For right now, all we're going to get is the data. Spiral with a bar, lowercase c, 12.2 million light years distant, puts it about 70,000 light years in diameter. RA, 47 minutes 33 seconds, with a declination of minus 25 degrees, 17 minutes 17 seconds. Let's try to remember to visit it later on in the evening. Well, with NGC 255, it's just outside the power line diffraction, which is nice to be able to see. It's a galaxy in Cetus, magnitude 11.9, 3.1 by 2.7 arc minutes, spiral with a bar, lowercase bc, 72 million light years distant, RA 47 minutes 47 seconds with a declination of minus 11 degrees, 28 minutes and 6 seconds. Let's pump it up to 150x for that final view. It does look like it has an annularity, although one is not specified in the Gemini 2 database. Well, I'm seeing a very tight edge-on galaxy with a bright core, probably an SC, right there in the middle of the field. I'm going to push it up to 100x so you can appreciate it while I give you the data. Another one of those interesting ones. It's magnitude 12.6, NGC 257, galaxy in Pisces, but it's 1.9 by 1.3 arc minutes, and the rest of the galaxy only starts to come out at 150x. It is a spiral class C, 237 million light years distant, puts it at about 130,000 light years in diameter. RA is 48 minutes 1 second, with a declination of plus 8 degrees 17 minutes and 47 seconds. Another very fine star field with a galaxy in its midst, and probably others. Here's our 150x view right there. For NGC258, a galaxy in Andromeda, it's magnitude 15. That cannot be it. It must either be this one or this galaxy here. So I'm going to frame them all up, and we're going to have to, oh, there's another faint one there. There's several of them, actually, and one up to, to the east. It's magnitude 15, 0.5 by 0.4 arc-minute spiral with a lowercase b, so it's going to have some kind of a core to it. Right ascension 48 minutes 12 seconds with a declination of plus 27 degrees 39 minutes 23 seconds. I suspect it's one of these galaxies here because they're going to start to the west and we're going to go to the east as the evening progresses. Okay, we're off to NGC 259. I do believe I'm seeing it. It also appears quite edge-on, but we've been deceived by several of those tonight until we zoomed in and read the data. This galaxy is NGC 259 in Cetus, magnitude 13.2. It is edge-on, 2.9 by 0.6, so about a 5-to-1 aspect ratio edge-on galaxy, spiral with a lowercase bc, so not a particularly evolved core, 178 million light years distant. That puts it larger than our own Milky Way, maybe around 110,000 light years in diameter. RA 48 minutes 3 seconds, declination of minus 2 degrees 46 minutes 34 seconds, and we have a nice view before us. All right, we're off to NGC 260, and it is located in Andromeda. There's several galaxies in the field, very dark field. Magnitude 13.5, 0.8 by 0.8 arc minutes. It's a spiral with a lowercase c and a peculiarity marker p. 235 million light years distant, maybe 60,000 light years in diameter. Right ascension is 48 minutes 34 seconds with a declination of plus 27 degrees 41 minutes 31 seconds. There's our 150x view. Given its magnitude 13.5, it's probably this very one right here, which also lies to the west. Another fine dark field of stars. These are just almost photographic. I would have described them as being eyepiece views. If I wanted to bring out more information about the galaxies, I would play with the histogram as I've just done there. What we're looking for here is NGC 262, a galaxy in Andromeda, magnitude 13.1, 1.4 by 1.4. Yes, it's right there, folks. Spiral with a lowercase a, nice, bright, well-developed core, 204 million light years distant. RA is 48 minutes 47 seconds with a northerly declination of plus 31, 57, 24. A fine view of a nice field of stars and neighboring galaxies. Okay, going north to south works out for me, and I'll tell you why. Because it is frigid out here, and I've got a nice mug of warm tea to warm the cockles of my digestive system by. We're now back in Cetus with NGC 263, a galaxy, magnitude 14, 0.7 by 0.3, spiral with a lowercase bc, so not much of a core. 390 million light years distant, puts it about the size of our Milky Way, maybe 90,000 light years. RA is 48 minutes 48 seconds with a declination of minus 13 degrees 6 minutes and 27 seconds. No guarantees on where the galaxy is in the field. I am not going to play with the histogram, so there. Okay, we're about as far north as I ever expect to get in Pisces, because most of the constellation lies just about at the celestial equators. What we should be seeing here is NGC 266, and it isn't much of a galaxy. It's got a bright star nearby. It's supposed to be magnitude 11.6. Come on, folks. 2.9 by 2.9 arc minute. This is not quite living up to expectations here, however, for a magnitude 11.6. Spiral with a bar and a lowercase ab, so it should be quite present on the screen. 211 million light years distant means it's probably larger than Messier 31 at about 180,000 light years in diameter. Right ascension is 49 minutes 47 seconds, and the declination is plus 32 degrees 16 minutes 39 seconds. Very, very surprising. Okay, before I launch into the next one, I did adjust the histogram, and we're noticing some extensions on the previous galaxy. Now we're on to NGC 268 in Cetus. Okay, we're getting a pretty nice sky view of NGC 268. It's in Cetus, minus 5 degrees 11 minutes and 38 seconds. Ooh, there's something moving right, glancing right by the galaxy itself. This is a magnitude 13.1, 1.6 by 1.1 arc minutes. Spiral with a bar, lowercase bc, 245 million light years distant, probably about 110,000 light years in diameter. RA is 50 minutes 9 seconds with a declination of minus 5 degrees, 11 minutes and 38 seconds. Let's make sure we get that 150x view. Quite a nice galaxy. It'd be nice if it was in the sky's middle third, but it ain't. We're off to NGC 270. It's another galaxy in Cetus. Quite obvious in the field. It's a fairly bright galaxy by the data. Magnitude 12.9, 1.8 by 1.6 arc-minute football-shaped spiral with a lowercase a, 170 million light years distant. Spiral with an A explains why it has such a bright core. A right ascension 50 minutes 32 seconds with a declination of minus 8 degrees 39 minutes and 7 seconds. There is our view. Okay, here is our next study, NGC 271. I suspect it's this. We'll have to look at the data. Yes. Galaxy in Cetus, magnitude 12, 2.2 by 1.7 arc minutes. Right ascension 50 minutes 41 seconds. It's a spiral with a bar and a lowercase ab, 184 million light years distant, probably about 100,000 light years in diameter. As I said, RA 5041 with a declination of minus 1 degrees, 54 minutes and 36 seconds. And here is that 100% e-zoom view. Okay, you won't be seeing any galaxies here. In fact, what we're seeing here is barely what I would call an open cluster. It's an Andromeda, magnitude 8.5, only consists of 8 stars, and we're pretty much seeing all of them. Magnitude total is 8.5. The brightest star is magnitude 8.9. Doesn't quite look that bright to me, but let's run it up a little bit. It's a class 4-1. And one of those class numbers determines whether or not it's distinctive, and I believe that's why I was able to pick it out. It's pretty distinctive from the background sky. And the other represents the variation in brightness of the various stars. Since I don't deal with open clusters too frequently, I don't remember which is which, but I would say the class IV is probably distinction, because it does kind of look like a group of stars, not a cluster. And the class 1 probably has to do with the stars being a very similar magnitude. As I said, it's at right ascension, 51 minutes 24 seconds with a declination of plus 35 degrees, 49 minutes 54 seconds. A nice diversion from galaxies by going within our own. Okay, we're off to NGC 273. As you can tell, it's in Cetus the Whale. Ooh, that's quite a structure there, but I don't know if that's it. It's a galaxy in Cetus, magnitude 12.9, 2.1 by 0.6 arc minutes. Yeah, that's probably our study there. A lenticular spiral seen edge on, but this one is very intriguing, isn't it, folks? 212 million light years distant means about 125,000 light years in diameter, so midway between our own galaxy and Messier 31. It's a lenticular spiral. It's at right ascension 50 minutes 48 seconds with a declination of minus 653.08. I'm going to try to frame both of them in the field of view. Wow, there are two interacting galaxies right here. This very bright, probably elliptical, is assimilating this very faint, disturbed galaxy. But that's our study is actually this one here, NGC273. Only a click away is NGC274, and that's what we're looking for right here. I'm going to press the magnification up before I give you the data. Maybe play with the histogram just a little bit to bring things out. Oh, that's a little too bright. Let's fainten it up a little bit. Okay, there we go, the background sky. NGC274 is a galaxy in Cetus, magnitude 11.8, 1.9 by 1.4. It is an elliptical class 1, 69 million light years distant, with a right ascension of 51 minutes 1 second and a southerly declination of -7 degrees 3 minutes 25 seconds. And I am chilling. Okay, the galaxy that is being assimilated here has been identified now. Another click away. That is NGC275 in Cetus, magnitude 12.5. 1.5 by 1.2 arc minutes. It's a spiral with a lowercase b, and guess what? It has a p, peculiarities. 74 million light years distant. Light ascension 51 minutes 4 seconds with a declination of -7 degrees 3 minutes 56 seconds. There is a very decent view of both NGC 274 and 75, halfway through the evening studies. Okay, NGC 276 is another galaxy in Cetus. So see if we can pick it out. Magnitude 14.9, so quite faint against a very bright background sky. 1 by 0.4 arc minutes. I have no claims here as to whether there's a galaxy or not. Something catches my eye right here. It's a spiral with a bar in lowercase b, 619 million light years distant, means it's almost probably over 200,000 light years in diameter. Right ascension 52 minutes 6 seconds with a declination of -22 degrees 40 minutes 48 seconds. And frankly, if Messier 31 were removed to that distance, it would be about a half a magnitude to a full magnitude fainter than 14.9 magnitude NGC 276. However, that may very well be its blue-violet, which means it's probably brighter at about magnitude 14.2. Here we should be seeing NGC 277, another galaxy in Cetus, but further north, and I've got several candidates here on the field, at least two that I'm seeing. And let's see if we can figure out which it is based on data. It's a galaxy in Cetus, magnitude 13.4. Yeah. 1.4 by 1.2 arc minute lenticular spiral. 189 million light years distant. Right ascension 51 minutes 17 seconds. Declination -8 degrees 35 minutes 48 seconds. Is this it? Or is it behind door number 2? I'll leave it up to you. We will get that 100 and... Oh, several others popped out as well. That view at 150x. Well, I don't normally go this far north, but this is a fine galaxy. We may be getting some aperture block. Beautiful field of view, because we are looking for this galaxy right here, NGC 278, against a phenomenally beautiful black background sky. It's NGC 278 in Cassiopeia, magnitude 10.8, 2.4 by 2.4 face on. Spiral with a bar, look for extension of the nucleus, the core, and a lowercase b, so it has a relatively bright. Looks to me like it's an annular, but who knows. 39 million light years distant, so quite small. Right ascension is 52 minutes 4 seconds, but a declination of plus 47 degrees 33 minutes of 1 second. And fortunately, we're only able to see it because we are probably about 45 minutes to an hour before all these studies will have culminated, which makes it possible for me to swing the scope around to 48 degrees north and east. Fine view, beautiful galaxy. Okay, back south into Cetus, but not too far below the celestial equator. For NGC 279, here is our 150x view. Magnitude 12.7, 1.6 by 1.2 arc minutes, spiral with a lowercase a. That pretty much qualifies there. 173 million light years distant, probably about 70,000 light years in diameter. Right ascension is 52 minutes, 8 seconds, with a declination of slightly southerly, minus 2 degrees, 13 minutes, 5 seconds. This is the one I skipped earlier because of the power line. Right ascension 47 minutes 33 seconds with a southerly declination of minus 25 degrees 17 minutes 17 seconds. The histogram has been playing games. Here is our view with some adjusted settings. Beautiful galaxy, tremendous amount of structure, well worth a good view by any telescopist who is further south, because this is minus 25 degrees in sculpture. There's our look. How about pushing it up? Look at that. Completely filling the field at somewhere around 100x. I'm gonna go ahead and go to 150 just so you can see how much structure is apparent in this field of NGC 253. Okay, we're now on to NGC 280, continuing our NGC quest of the evening. It's a galaxy in Andromeda, magnitude 13.2, 1.7 by 1.1 arc minute, spiral with a bar and a ring, but this baby is distant. 454 million light years. I'm starting to really quake and shake here due to the cold. Right ascension 52 minutes 30 seconds with a declination of plus 24 degrees 21 minutes and 1 second. There is a fairly decent view. I do have to play with a histogram after the last couple of studies. Let's move on before I freeze out here and you get no more astrovids out of Backyard John Day. We're now on to NGC 282. Mount stalled on me, so I've had to recover it. Of course that would happen after I'm beginning to freeze to death. All right, zooming in, NGC 282 at 150x is a galaxy in Pisces, magnitude 14.5, pretty bright, so maybe that's not it. 0.8 by 0.6 arc minutes. It's an elliptical 292 million light years distant, right ascension 52 minutes 42 seconds, and a northerly declination of plus 30 degrees 38 minutes 19 seconds. Okay, you'll have to be happy with data on NGC 283, galaxy Cetus, magnitude 14.2, fairly large, 1.6 by 1 arc minute. Spiral with a lowercase c, 501 million light years distant, puts this at about 225,000 light years in diameter. RA 5313 with a declination of minus 1309, 50, sorry folks, no zoom. Okay, 283 had a neighbor, 284. I'm not going to bother to show you what it looks like because you're not going to see it anyway, but I will give you the data. NGC 284 is a galaxy in Cetus, magnitude 15.8 by 0.8 arc minute, elliptical, also very distant, 512 million light years. Right ascension 5324 with a declination of minus 1309, 32. Okay, again, I'm not going to bother to show you anything new because NGC 285 is another click-away galaxy in Cetus, magnitude 15.2, 0.7 by 0.4 arc minute, lenticular spiral. No distance on this one, however. Right ascension 5329 with a declination of minus 1309, 40. And like the last three galaxies, NGC 286 is another locally source galaxy at Cetus, magnitude 14.4, 1.3 by 0.9 arc minutes, lenticular spiral, 486 million light years distant, RA 5330 with a declination of minus 13 degrees 6 minutes and 45 seconds. Okay, we're out of the whale's belly with the last four galaxies or so. What we're looking for here is NGC 287, galaxy in Pisces, magnitude 15. 0.8 by 0.4 arc minute spiral with a lowercase a, so look for a brightish core, 245 million light years distant. RA is 53 minutes 28 seconds with a declination plus 32 degrees 28 minutes 55 seconds. Let's push it up to that and see if we can't pick it out amongst these. I recommend going to Steve Gottlieb's adventuresindeepspace.com. He will give you some guidance based on the relationships between all the various galaxies in the field generally, plus some of the brighter stars. Okay, we're getting another break from galaxies. As you might see here, there's a sprinkling of stars in this field. That happens to be the globular cluster NGC288 in Sculptor, magnitude 8.1, 13.8 arc minutes in size. Brightest stars are magnitude 12.6. It's a class 10, so fairly disparate in stellar distribution. 26,000 light years distant. Compare that to something like Messier 13 at 6 magnitudes and about the same distance with its brightest stars, but probably a little more condensed. We're at right ascension 52 minutes 45 seconds, but the declination is minus 26 degrees 35 minutes. I am not going to play with the histogram, got to keep moving on, but I will give you that 150x view. Not bad for that far south. Okay, so I did play with the histogram a little bit. Here we have NGC 291 somewhere in the field, ideally. Galaxy in Cetus, magnitude 14.5, 1.1 by 0.6 arc minutes. See if you can pick it out. It's a class lowercase a spiral, 255 million light years distant, right ascension 5329 with a declination of minus 8 degrees 46 minutes and 6 seconds. Off to NGC 293, another galaxy in Cetus, magnitude 14.7. 1.1 by 0.9 arc minutes, spiral with a bar and lowercase b, so there should be some kind of core. 253 million light years distant. I'll leave it up to you to determine its size. Basically, 100,000 light years would be about 350. Right ascension is 54 minutes 15 seconds. Declination of minus 7 degrees 14 minutes and 9 seconds. There's our 150x view. I'm still shaking and quaking here. Okay, we're looking at a nice field here for NGC 295, galaxy in Pisces, magnitude 12.6, 2.2 by 1 arc minute in size, spiral with a bar and a lowercase b, capital B, so it's got 2 spiral arms, 244 million light years distant, puts it about the size of Messier 31. I'm not seeing it in the field. Right ascension 55 minutes 5 seconds with a declination of plus 31, 31, 48. There is our view. I am not seeing anything that looks as bright as magnitude 12.6. Sorry, folks, that's going to be our search. Near to NGC 295 is NGC 296, a fainter galaxy. I'm calling it up now. Look for both of them in the field. I did change the histogram to bring it out a little bit more if that was the issue. NGC 296, a galaxy in Pisces, magnitude 15.4. That's probably its blue-violet. 1.2 by 0.4, 3-to-1 aspect ratio. So it should look edgy on. Spiral with a lowercase c, 250 million light years distant. Right, RA 55 minutes, 22 seconds. We're approaching hour 1, plus 31 degrees, 40 minutes, 40 seconds. Well, let's make sure I get, I did get to 150x. Okay, probably nothing to see here, because we're down in Cetus once again for NGC 297, 16.5 magnitude. 0.3 by 0.2 arc minute, which means it's probably got an average brightness around 14.5. It's an elliptical class O, 680 million light years distant. It's pretty collapsed in on itself. Right ascension 54 minutes for 58 seconds and a declination of minus 7 degrees 21 minutes. That is our 150x view of the region. Something right there, however. Okay, this field should look familiar because there is a neighbor to the last Galaxy 297, I believe it was. And that neighbor is NGC298, a galaxy in C disk magnitude 13.5. 1.7 by 0.4 arc minute spiral with a lowercase c, 77 million light years distant, right ascension 5502 with a declination of minus 7 degrees 20 seconds. Maybe we need to back out on this one to 75x, and I'm not seeing it. Let's move on. Bailed on the last views. We did get to the final on the 250 to 299 series with 297. This shows you how the sky has degraded over the evening. This, of course, is Messier 31, 5-second view, not very nice. Things haven't been particularly good this evening, but we did get a fantastic view of NGC 253. Let's be happy with that and some of the other views we got. Carpe Noctem.